Hello, Introduction to Mass Communication class. The section we're looking at this week is on social media and advertising and public relations. All these things kind of go together. Advertising originally began, with newspapers, of course, and then worked its way into radio, where in radio it was established as a way to sponsor programming. So an entire set of programming on a radio station would be brought to you by a specific company, such as This Hour of Radio is brought to you by the Aluminum Corporation of America, that sort of thing. And then that also carried over into television as well. Television programs, the entire program was paid for by one particular company rather than doing individual what are called spot sales. And of course that evolved into spot sales where you had 30-second and 60-second radio and television commercials. And that was the way that the world worked for the longest period of time until we moved into social media advertising, which is where the vast majority of ad funds are spent today. And not only is it spent on social media advertising in the sense of straight up ads that you see on your social media platforms, but it's done through paying what are called influencers, which we've talked about before. So advertising and public relations are two different fields. Advertising is a company paying, trying to convince you to buy something. Public relations is essentially the company trying to convince you that they're doing the right thing. One of my favorite companies to look at for that is a company called Patagonia. They're a clothing company you may have heard of. If you take a look at Patagonia's website, you'll see that they spend a large majority of their time talking about the great things that they do as a company rather than specifically trying to sell you a product. They also sent out a monthly magazine to their customers that tells all about the things that they're doing, but is not necessarily specifically trying to get you to buy a product, because if you feel good about a company, if you like a company, you're more likely to continue to be a customer with that company. This unit also has our social media audit assignment in there, and this is kind of a fun thing to do. The social media audit assignment is asking you to choose one corporation to look at. And so you're gonna pick someone, a company that you like, or maybe you want to learn more about, and you are going to engage in a social media audit of that corporation. And that requires you to go through a lot of materials. So you're going to need to start with the company website, and you're going to need to answer every one of these questions in detail. And then it's going to ask you to go to their different social media platforms. So we're going to go through and we're going to find out a lot about our individual company, the company that we've chosen, by looking at these different platforms. And then down at the end here, the social media audit asks you to answer 3 concluding questions, and those paragraphs should be one or more. Those questions should be answered with 1 or more paragraphs. So make sure that you're really digging in deep on there. So good luck this week and enjoy.